Good morning, everyone. Beautiful morning here in the Okanagan. Mostly sunny. Look, Timmy's. Is it a surprise that the shoulder is worn out in front of a Timmy's? Even with no stopping signs everywhere? So it's a nice sunny day. It's plus 12 degrees. For those of you following on Google Maps, we are in Penticton, Highway 97, northbound. So today morning I'm like, I still didn't know where I was delivering in Oliver. I found what I thought I was delivering to, and it was a residential area. I'm like, I'm probably delivering to a construction site. I'm like, but I don't want to sleep there, and I'm not driving down that narrow road.
Meters. Turn left on Highway 97.
Apparently it's pretty busy here. I'm not driving down that narrow road, residential road, because my brother-in-law used to live on that road. Actually, 2 houses down from where he used to live is where my address said to deliver. It's like, well, the name of the street was still wrong. I was told to deliver on Lakeshore Drive. There is no Lakeshore Drive in Oliver, so I'm like, it must be Lakeside Drive. But I'm not driving down that road
at the traffic light
until I have confirmation that's where I'm going. So today morning I woke up just starting to do my pre-trip, and a pickup pulls up beside me, and it happened to be the customer, the landscaper that was landscaping the property, and said, "Follow me." I'm like, perfect. Let me finish my pre-trip and then I'll follow you. So
continue on Highway 97.
Made him sit there for 10 minutes. Like I said, I'd started my pre-trip, so I finished my pre-trip and followed him in, and it was exactly the location I thought. The property I was going to, actually, I don't know if it's still owned, but it used to be owned by an actor that starred in Stargate. And when we always visit our friend, he'd be out and about. Sometimes you'd see kids come by and he would sign autographs. Super nice. I know I don't remember what his name is. I'm horrible with names. And they completely had ripped up the whole yard. And built a new house on it. So that was cool. Narrow residential roads. It's actually not bad bringing a Super B in there, because I kind of planned it out. I looked on the map going the best route to go is this way, and there's no dead end there either, so you can loop around the block. So it was pretty good. 7 in the morning, there's not a lot of traffic, so couldn't complain. Quite happy with that. Turn our view towards the lake. You guys want to see more lake, right? So I unloaded 21 pallets there, leaving only 7 pallets of concrete blocks on the back. So it's a nice light load now going to Kelowna, delivering the rest there. That lake is beautiful today. I love the colors. So yeah, I call this home. Since we can't go do anything, I think like we can't go out to parks or anything like that, I think we'll grab the kayaks and go kayaking on this lake this weekend. Just along the shoreline. Hopefully the weather's good. Now you're slowing down? Oh, now you're speeding up. I've got cruise control on. I'm maintaining my speed dead on. Slow down a bit. We'll just drive 99 kilometers an hour, 1 click slower. Hopefully that keeps them in front of us further away. And if not, then yeah, probably not. It's not going to make a difference. When they're not using cruise control and speeding up and slowing down, I guess I'll go off of cruise control as well. Don't think I've either that or be stuck beside them. So there's a barrier over here. Some places along the lake here has a barrier. And in my opinion, it's always more beautiful when there is no barrier. I'll show you the section between Hardy Falls and Peachland again as well, with no barrier there. And here's another section with no barrier. And there's really no beaches running east to west along the lake, but always wherever there's a little peninsula, anytime where there's any land going on north or south of the lake, there's always nice beaches there. Beautiful sandy beaches. What we got going on here? Maybe line painting. Nope, sweeping. We're sweeping. Sweeping the highways. Getting rid of all those rocks. That way when this windshield gets replaced in the next week or two, I won't have a cracked windshield right away. thinking that van was going to go cut me off, but they didn't, so thank you, van. Here they've built a nice walking path and biking path right along the shoreline. And here a barrier makes sense. Keep us separated from the hikers and bikers and stuff like that. Alright, we'll climb up and over through Summerland and I'll catch up with you on the other side. Sumac Ridge Golf Course. Up there. Still in the distance there, it'll be on the left hand side. That'll be a beautiful viewpoint of the lake. Big windows on the front of it too, so yeah. Gorgeous place to live. beautiful day. Oh, there's a house being built down there. And the floor plan is crazy. It circles. The floor plan is a couple, like 3 different circles put together. And yes, it's almost impossible to find a house along the lake here that's not worth over $1 million. I don't know where all these millionaires are coming from, but there seem to be a lot of millionaires along this lake. I certainly will never own a house along the lake here. At the RCMP pulling out of their hidey spot going, nobody's speeding here today. I'll go sit somewhere else. At least I think that's what the white SUV in front of us is. Pretty sure it's a RCMP. I guess that all of you know what an RCMP is. Royal Mounted Canadian Police. They used to ride horses, so they still have the name of the police back in the day. It's a national police force. RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police Force. Did I say that backwards? Royal Canadian Mounted Police Force. Although they no longer are mounted. Actually, they still do parade routes and stuff with mounted on their horses. It's pretty cool. And they put their full red uniforms on, and yeah, the classic red Mountie uniform and riding a horse, they never do that real world. It's only for ceremonies now that they wear that gear. And RCMP covers everything from highway patrol to all the detectives, all the town, everything is under the umbrella. The Secret Service, it's all under RCMP. Like in the US, you have all these different branches of the sheriff office and the police office and the troopers, all these different FBI and all these different branches, all this jurisdiction, I can't even say the word. Jurisdiction, still trying. Anyway, dang foreigner trying to speak English, right? In the US, they always have the problem of different agencies stepping on other agencies' toes. It's all just one agency here. Less politics in the police force that way. There are a couple of different branches that where it breaks the rules. We do have forestry. Guys would maybe call them rangers. Forestry is separate. They are a lot more powerful than a normal RCMP officer on the road. They've got more power to, can enforce more things. CVSE, which is Commercial Vehicle Safety and Inspection, or enforcement. Most of them are former RCMP, so that's a step up. And then there are some big cities that have their own police force, their own city police. But for the most part, it's all under RCMP. Well, it's going to be hard to beat this footage the rest of the day, so I'll catch up with you guys. Well, I'll wait till we climb up the hill out of Summerland. But then after that, I'll catch up with you guys after we're unloaded, see where I'm going, see what the plan is after this. I have not got my next dispatch yet, so it's going to be a little tricky unloading here. It's a small little yard. As a rule, we've unloaded here before in Kelowna, and it's a small little yard and it fills up with customers. So the rule is be there by 6 a.m., unload before the customers show up. But today that's not possible because we have multiple drops, so I'm going to park on the road. Unless I see the parking lot's empty, I'm going to park on the road and then go in and see what they want me to do. I'm having a problem with my inverter in this truck. It keeps cutting out. So I can't make any food in my toaster. My toaster is 1,500 watts and the inverter is 2,500 watts. And it's not handling the toaster anymore, so I still have my food warmer that I can plug into the cigarette lighter and make food that way, but anything that needs to be fully cooked I can't make right now. record crossing the bridge as well. Once we climb up over here, we'll skip through West Kelowna, and then I'll record driving across the lake. Talking about building a second bridge across the lake. And it might be somewhere on this end over here, maybe going from Peachland to Kelowna, southern Kelowna. Yeah, people speed down this road all the time. 70 kilometers per hour. Most people do 90, unless there's someone slowing the road down like I do. People are going 90 to 100 down here. As a rule, I just go with the flow of traffic when I'm driving my personal vehicle. Whatever speed they're going, I just follow. But in the big rig, I've got to follow dead on legal speed limit. I find passing aggressively, it doesn't really help you much. He hasn't gained a lot of time on me, has he? Son, come back. Feels cooler in here right away as soon as the sun disappears. And the bridge across the lake just floats on the lake. It's basically a bunch of concrete barges put together, and we drive across all these concrete barges that just float on the water. Trickiest part about a floating bridge is that the lake is not always the same level. I just realized that the built-in GPS on this truck calls this intersection the Coquihalla Highway. It's called the Connector Highway, not the Coquihalla. GPS calls this intersection, the highway that goes to the left, the Coquihalla Highway. Wrong. This is definitely not the Coquihalla. It's Highway 97C. Goes to Merritt. And it's called the Connector Highway. Lots of lumber up there. Big lumber mill here. They pretty much make 1x4s. It's their specialty. There might be 1x6 in there, but it's all 1 by something. 1x4, 1x6, 1x8. And I've never brought a load of lumber out of there yet. I've picked up a load of wood chips out of there when I was training, but never loaded a load of lumber out of there. Nice light load, so I can come down fairly quick from the top, but normally I'd be wanting to be at the 70 kilometer speed limit at the top already. At a full load. Welcome to West Bank. Yeah, usually we hit a lot of red lights in West Bank and West Kelowna. Driving across the lake. I always wonder what the engineering difficulties are of a floating bridge where the lake level changes level, or goes up and down several feet. I notice some of the joints certain times a year are little ramps. You almost get airtime on them if you. I know when they first built it, it was actually pretty rough at some of those joints, and they've engineered around it so that the joints are not as bad as they used to be, because when they first built this bridge, well, there used to be an old floating bridge on the right hand side over here, and but the new one, these joints right here were certain times a year really rough. Another one right over here. A little bit of a bounce. So depending on the lake level, those joints are at a different angle. 2 joints on that end and then maybe 2 joints on this end. The rest of it on the center is all one. They bolted it all together and made one solid roadway. Oh, it's a small joint there. Here's a big one. And here's the last big one. Downtown Kelowna, just to the left. Stop to do a load secure on E-Holt. 20-foot container on the back and a 40-foot container on the front. I measured to the top of the back container and we are at 4.15 meters tall. We're right at the legal limit. Overhang in the front a bit, also within legal limits. Empty containers. Just did a load secure here. Top of E-Holt. Okay. Along Highway 3. Pick these up in Kelowna and delivering them to, well, my boss in Salmo. Grab a toothpick, because that's making a big difference, having a toothpick jammed into the camera mount so it keeps it from shaking. Plug you guys in. I already did the load secure, so we can get rolling. If you guys counted the straps on the containers, I had more than I legally need. Front container is 40 feet long. I need a strap at 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, and 40 feet. So 5 straps. 20-foot container needs a strap at 5 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet, 3 straps. They're empty, so I don't need any chains. And with the extra strap, I think I have 1 extra strap on each. They're not moving anywhere. If they're loaded containers, I'd be worried about if I had to make an emergency brake that the containers would slide forward, and in that case they would come right through the cab and just take the whole cab off of the truck and probably take me with it. So in that case you want chains on the front holding the containers back. Keeping them out of the cab. Headed down into Grand Forks. When I say that, I should say Grand Forks, British Columbia. Because I used to live in Manitoba. I should know better than that. there's a Grand Forks in North Dakota that we all know about if we lived in southern Manitoba, because a lot of people, including us, went to Grand Forks to go chopping every now and then. Or we went down there to go watch an air show or stuff like that. So, nope, not headed to North Dakota. Just headed to Grand Forks, British Columbia. Just like last week. Last week? This week. This Monday, I was in, or drove through Houston, British Columbia. So a lot of cities have many duplicate names. And then there's always names that say New Denver, New York. So I'm supposed to deliver these in Salmo tomorrow morning. I'm going to be there around 3:30 today. I don't know if there will be anybody there to unload them, but if not, I am so fine with that. I'll just go park in the yard, take a shower and relax and play some computer games. Because it's the other day. I don't think there's days of the week anymore for most people. The week starts with one day. Then we have today, and then we have other day, and then we have that day. Don't know what Friday would be. Actually, that day would be Saturday. That day, someday would be Sunday. So this day would be Thursday. I don't know Friday. I need to come up with a name for Friday. Different day. Come up with a list. Maybe there's some list online already. Someday, today. I don't know, someday, one day, today, other day, that day, don't know Friday, and then, no, instead of getting it wrong again, that day is that a day, Saturday, that a day, so Thursday is this day, Friday, what's Friday, that day? No, I think that's already there, that's Saturday. What day? What day needs to be in here? Maybe Wednesday is what day? Let's try this again. I need to write it down. So we got one day, today, what day, this day, other day, that a day, and someday. Does that work? Should be the new days of the week. Yeah, I threw 2 pieces of dunnage on the front trailer for the overhang of the front, the container to the back, and I should have only thrown 1 piece in there, because when I measured the height, 4.1. Oh, there's a marmot sitting on the cement mill posts. The marmot was sunbathing. But when I measured it, I'm at 4.15, and that is dead on legal limit. I'm like, well, I've got the dunnage already in there. It's legal, barely, but it's legal. And then the front overhang, I got the front overhang in quite a bit too. And I measured that, and I'm well within legal. There's 10 centimeters, maybe 15 centimeters of spare room, so gotta watch for all the laws. Yeah, on the front I'm allowed to overhang, it's a radius. From the kingpin, you draw a circle 2 meters. You take a measuring tape, move it to 2 meters and draw a circle. That's how far you're allowed to overhang the front. So it feels like a round tank. You could overhang it further forward than if it's a flat front like the container here. So you have to go this radius circle. Where does it meet the corner? Okay, we're good. Hey, look, there's a set goat, fully tarped. Oh, look, another Sutco. Plaid for Dad truck. No tarp. And a small load, so probably going to the US. Or it's just green, but why would you wrap green lumber? Probably going to the US. This is our Grand Forks. Very much not in North Dakota. Bunch of kids out, you gotta watch them. They were far off from the road. That's not what I meant. That there's low risk of them heading onto the road, but you gotta wait for that fist pump. Get those every now and then. And I think they're a lot more fun for me than for the kids. I do enjoy the ones where one kid's on the back of the line and all these kids walk and decides to pump his fists, his or her fist, and scares the bejeebers out of the rest of the people. That is awesome when that happens. Deliver to this hardware store on the right hand side quite often, right after the RCMP station. Home Hardware, or Home Building Center. Sometimes there's some violent shifting there. Don't quite understand it. We got a bunch of deer here on the right hand side. Looks like some baby Bambis in there. Not little fawns, or they're teenagers, but they're definitely young. Gotta remember, I'm 4.15. Looks like they got some rain here, or they washed the road. Oh, the side roads are wet too, so they got rain here. River's starting to get higher. It's nowhere near flooding yet, but it's getting higher. Notice all these RV parks are packed with RVs. All the BC parks being closed. Some tourists are still going on tour with their RV. They just can't go to the park, so they're all crammed into these RV parks. It just doesn't seem like fun to me at all. Because you've got to isolate yourself inside an RV park. Yay. We are already going, if the BC parks are still closed by the time we go on vacation, we are just going to do day trips and go kayaking and things like that, just in our local lake there. And we were hoping to do a bunch of quadding, but that doesn't look like we're going to do a lot of that. We might still go to places where we know there's just Forest Service roads in the middle of nowhere, no parks anywhere nearby. It'd be highly unlikely anybody else will be around. Might still do some of those, but we'll see. I see a lot less wildlife without Jess here. I have to focus most of my time on the road, so I'm not looking to the sides. And like the mountain sheep that are often here in this area, they blend right in. Unless you're looking for them, you're not going to see them. So I don't have time to look for them, so I don't see them. If she points them out for me, then I can quickly glance over and see the wildlife. But unless it's right on the road, like the deer were over there in Grand Forks, or elk, I had a bunch of elk crossing the road earlier in the week. Unless they're crossing the road, I'm not going to see them. A little bit of a drizzle on the windshield. Well, guys, I'm gonna head into Christina Lake, climb over the Paulson, deliver these containers, and we'll see what I load either later on today or tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate all the comments out there. Interacting with you guys and with other YouTubers is the only thing keeping me sane right now, so really appreciate it. Well, I don't know if you're keeping me completely sane, but it's keeping me from going all the way off the deep end. So yeah, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. Comments. You can comment 5-6 times on the same video, I don't care. I enjoy reading them all. Oh, looks like Milkman's running a little late. His counterpart was already sitting in Midway, the trade trailers in Midway. Setco chip truck. So yeah, thank you. Really appreciate you guys. You guys rock. You guys hang in there. You guys are helping me out, so hopefully I'm helping you out in some way. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on this day. I'll see you on this day. Another day out.